Hey everybody, this is Ben here at thatcologneguy coming at you with another fragrance review. And in this episode, I'm going to be taking a look at Opus 4. Right there it is, Opus 4. If you're following my channel, you know that I am going down the line checking out the samples from the library collection. And I have Opus 1 through 10 here. And of course you can see that I'm working on Opus number 4. And I like to start every episode of the library collection reviews with that reading from the little booklet that they send you to see if the description matches up. And in this particular case, I think you will like what they have to say. It says, Opus 4 is an inspiring creation crafted to instill knowledge. Okay? In 2011, Amouage proudly donated 50% of the worldwide profits from Opus 4 to the National HIV/AIDS Prevention and Control Program in Oman. So kudos to Amouage for doing that. 50% of all profits that from this product went to the National HIV/AIDS Prevention and Control Program in Oman. So again, give them props for that. Kudos to Amouage for this. And let's dive in on the notes. They list here top notes as coriander oil, lemon, mandarin, and grapefruit. In the heart is elemi oil, cardamom, cumin, roseberries and rose. I'm not really sure the difference between roseberries and rose. Violet leaves. And in the base you have Peru balsam, labdanum, absolute, frankincense, animalic, and musk. Now, I will say, when you first smell this, there's a long list of notes, but this one is rather linear for me, believe it or not, because those notes are all over the map, so you might think, wow, that's really a very specific blend of many types of notes, but actually really I looked on Fragrantica to see, this is a warm, spicy fragrance. There's no doubt about it. I mean, I don't really pick up too much of the top notes other than coriander, of course, okay? So like the citrus, the lemon, the mandarin, and the grapefruit, I really don't pick up that much at all. In this fragrance, on my skin, what really dominates are the warm spices. Coriander, cardamom, and cumin. So I looked it up so you can say on the American English side, and I'm assuming the Canadian English as well, would be cumin. And it looks like in the UK it's a cumin. So we can say a cumin or cumin. Either way, it's a warm spice, and that really jumps out. Not only as far as smelling the sample, but on my skin as well. So I wore this yesterday, and I will say it is rather linear in the sense that you get a huge blast of cumin, besides that, it's really the cardamom and the coriander. As I said, it's the warm spices abound mixed with frankincense. So you get this kind of cumin meets frankincense, smoky blast mixed with a little cardamom and coriander that's definitely there. And I might, if I had to add another one, I might say just a tad of rose. I don't know what the difference between roseberries and rose is, but I will say I could pick up a little rose here, no doubt. I really don't pick up grapefruit, lemon, and mandarin in this one. I don't get the citrus hardly at all. In fact, this one smells like. This has to, for me, it's warm spicy, but this is a gourmand, and I feel like I'm using warm spices like coriander and cardamom and cumin near a campfire, because it's very smoky as well. This has a very distinct smell. It is linear for me, and it doesn't change or evolve over time. It lasts a long time, but the initial blast that you smell, at least for me on my skin, is exactly how it's going to smell the rest of the day. So you'll either like that or not. I'm not a huge fan of cumin, actually, in terms of using it in cooking. I will say, though, that this works very well, but it is a linear scent. So if you're not a huge fan of some of these warm spices I'm mentioning, then you certainly won't like this, because it's not going to evolve over time, and you're also not going to get lemon, mandarin, and grapefruit kind of coming to the forefront later throughout the day. So The note there you have it with the notes: warm, spicy, gourmand, using warm spices near a campfire, very smoky. The frankincense kicks in, and the typical DNA from Amouage there. And so Opus 4, that is Opus 4 in a nutshell. Now as far as projection and longevity, this is another typical Amouage response, meaning you're going to get I get a long time on this one, and I'm not going to say it's like interlude man, but I will say that I got well over 8 hours. This is about a 10 to 12 hour if you do 4 sprays on this one. So longevity is fantastic, and then on top of it, projection is also quite good. Not total beast mode, but it's quite good. So you're looking at right at an arm's length. I don't know, because of the warm spices, well, let's go into occasion. I don't have to do gender because it's for women and men. These are unisex fragrances. Nothing to say there, really. This is a classic gourmand. There's nothing masculine or feminine about this one. This one's just unisex right down the middle in terms of marketing. Now, as far as the season, this is easily, this is a great scent, so it's anytime, anywhere. But if I had to choose, I would choose winter and possibly fall. And because it is a warm, spicy, I don't really see this too much in a hot summer day. I wouldn't see this as a barbecue and beer kind of fragrance at all. I would see this as, and I also don't necessarily envision this as an office scent, so I would see this more as like going out on the town for the night during colder weather in the fall or the winter. This would be good for like the holiday parties. I see this kind of fragrance working. Of course, I would wear it to the office as I did yesterday. And I would say that if you work in a closed environment, you would want to be careful with this one. If you're in a more open space, it's fine. There's nothing to suggest that you couldn't wear it at the office. I do see this more as a formal, an evening, a more formal attire, and something, some sort of event after work. That's the way I envision this working out the best. So that's the occasion. Age group is, you got it, anybody who can afford it, and that is an Amouage in a nutshell. Because it is a gourmand, because it is warm, spicy, you're going to see 40 and up on this, but there's nothing to suggest 25 and up. I'm just choosing that really because I'm imagining the clientele for this fragrance would probably be 40 and up, but there's nothing to suggest that it's mature or that it is an older person's fragrance whatsoever. It's a wonderful fragrance, and you could see 25 and up, but I would venture to say probably going to be more on the 40 and up crowd, and part of that is just because that is the crowd that can afford these fragrances. As you know, if you buy it straight from directly from Amouage, it's going to be expensive, and if you can find it through a discounter site, it's still looking at around minimum $150 a bottle for an Eau de Parfum 100 milliliter 3.4 ounce. So rather expensive indeed. Here's the thing I like about it. You know what I love about Opus 4 is that as soon as you say the number, right? Some of these you have to look because they have a number. You have to look up the description and you think, oh yeah, that's right, it's this one. I remember that one. Or you have to smell it first in the box and then say, oh yeah, that's right. You really remember this fragrance. Like it or hate it, you will not forget this one, and you will not have to look it up before and say, oh yeah, which one was that? That one campfire one? I think it was Fate? It's Fate Man, right? So Fate Man also had cumin in it, and this one has just very, very, very strong in that sense. Now, do I like it? I do. I really like it because it does have character. Now, do I want to give it a 5, though, out of 5 sprays? No, I do not. So I'm going to kind of split the difference on this one. I'm not a huge fan of the fact that it is, on my skin at least, I would say ultra linear. Okay, I would say it does not evolve. You guys might disagree. I actually just don't see a lot of these notes in here. I really don't. So I actually don't want to say it's well blended. Because the notes that I mentioned earlier are the ones that really stand out here on this one. And so because it's linear, I would say more of a 3 category out of 5. But because it has so much character and distinction, and I really appreciate this attempt at well, not an attempt, but this gourmand fragrance, and I guess attempt to do something very original. How's that? I would tend to go 5 out of 5, so I'm going to split the difference and say this is a 4 out of 5 fragrance. Check it out. Get a sample of it first, though. Will I be going with this? I absolutely will. And as I said, this is a 4 out of 5 sprays for me. And so I'm going to go 2 on the neck and 1 on each wrist. There we go. And I have just enough for today. And actually, this has such a distinctive warm spice smell. Look here. Look, I'll even spray it, and you could probably smell it now at your house while you're watching this video. That's how strong it is. 4 out of 5 sprays for this. I would add it to my collection, no doubt about it. It has character. It has distinction. It is unforgettable, and I do appreciate about this fragrance. Is it a masterpiece? No. Is it a home run for them? No. But it is a pretty straightforward Amouage release, isn't it? Something you would expect with a lot of smokiness, the frankincenses, the DNA, and then again with the warm spices. And so this is a go for me, no doubt. Okay, guys, there you have it. There's another review by the boards. Just want to say a couple of things to end up here. Really appreciate all the feedback you've been giving me. I've worked on some of those issues, and thanks again so much. Really appreciate it. I'm having so much fun doing this. Almost halfway with the library collection, and it has generated a lot of comments and feedback, and so there aren't many reviews out there on these, and so I'm just enjoying it that much more, and really having a good time with this. So as far as the channel, don't forget, I'm trying to get to 100 subscribers, because after 100 you get your own URL. So if you like these episodes, please subscribe. If you know anyone who might like them as well, please send this along, tell them to subscribe. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And also hit the notification bell, so that way every time, as soon as I upload an episode, in fact, you are notified immediately. There you have it. I'm going to have to get to a point where I'm going to do like a giveaway or something. I need to work on my marketing skills, don't I, to promote my channel more. But in the meantime, I'm having a blast, pun intended. This was 4 out of 5 sprays for Opus 4. Of course, I'll move on to 5 after this. And you guys have a great day. And let me know what you think of this one. And always remember, fragrance marks the celebration of today. Take care.